Let's do some pre-market analysis. All right, guys. So looking at the weekly, again, we have not been able to fight through that weekly bearish for value gap here. Now, yesterday, I do believe that a lot of that drop yesterday was due to fundamental reasons. With everything going on in the Middle East, with all the oil news, it seems like most of that drop was because of fundamental analysis, not as much technical analysis. But obviously, we still cannot fight through the weekly SIBI up here. So maybe a little bit of technical, right? We haven't been able to even fight through the 50% level. We haven't been able to close above that. So we'll keep an eye on that weekly SIBI here. And remember, we have that weekly busy below. Let's go to the daily time frame. Let's chart out previous day low, previous day high here. So we have previous day low down here. Boom. And then we have previous day high up here. So to me right now, the most likely drawn liquidity is going to be previous day low. After seeing such a strong drop yesterday, we basically created a bearish order block on the daily time frame. We just traded into the daily order block, and we're already forming a wick up here. So it looks like on the daily that we do want to try and come down for, previous day low. That would be my first assumption. Remember, we also bounced off of the daily bearish for value gap up top. But we don't really have daily sell side until like all the way down here at some of these lows. So kind of a long ways away, right? 254 to 902. So about 200 or 300 points away, about 350 points away. So pretty far. So let's just drop down to some other time frames here. Let's go to the 4 hour. Okay, so this is the 4 hours what I'm mainly paying attention to right now, right? Because we formed this huge 4 hour bearish for value gap up here. We tapped into it last night, right? I wanted to see the longs come in last night because I wanted to see us trade into this 4 hour. But I got so bored of the chop and the range that I just hopped off the charts. Eventually, the longs did come up into the 4 hour like I wanted to see them. It took a while for that to happen. But you can see we still haven't displaced these lows, and we're still in a 4 hour busy as well. So we would need to see very strong bearish price action to come down and close below the busy. And then we also have this 4 hour bullish order block right here, right? So we'd have to come down and close below that level because these are both levels that we have bounced off of. But on the 4 hour, it looks like power of 3, right? AMD, accumulation, manipulation. Now we just need to see the full distribution here because we have technically not closed below and gotten a market structure shift on the 4 hour yet. We need to see us close below these lows and not just wick below. So we'll be paying attention to that. And then we don't have sell side. Well, we have some sell side down here at that swing low right there. All right, we've got some external sell side here. Swing low beneath this 4 hour order block. Okay, so we have that level. Let's go to the 1 hour. Let's see how the 1 hour is looking. All right, so we know this is the 4 hour. But we do have a 1 hour SIBI up here that we haven't tapped into. All right, so we got that 1 hour SIBI up top. So this was like, I was looking for longs from down here. Obviously, we had a lot of bullish candles, but look how small these 1 hour candles are. Just really small. So you can, when we break it down, you're going to see how like choppy and ugly the candles were looking throughout that move. And even right now on the hourly, we look pretty ugly, right? A lot of long wicks, a lot of chop accumulation. So we're really going to need to see us break out of accumulation because again, we are in an hourly and a 4 hour busy. We have an hourly and a 4 hour SIBI above us. So we're going to have to wait for a lot of, for an actual breakout. If we're going to see the market start moving, I'm going to need to see a breakout. And then I'm going to look for a trade down to previous day low. Right now, that's my expectation, but we can assume we might see some manipulation first to come up and grab buy side liquidity up here. All right, a little bit of buy side, external buy side here. We might come up and try to grab that first before we see a drop down to previous day low. So let's look at 15 minute time frame now. And just looking at the 15, this is kind of what I was talking about, right? We had a decent move. It just took a long time to get there, and we were very choppy when I was looking for the trade. And then ever since we traded into that 4 hour, we have been very choppy and very rangy since, right? So just a lot of chop, a lot of range here. We have not broken through this 15-minute busy all the way over here, but this level has been tested a lot, so I would want to see us try to break through that level. But first, I would not be surprised if we came up and grabbed this buy side, right? A lot of clear buy side liquidity up here, some equal highs, all the way up here. Would not be surprised if we want to come up and grab that and eventually come back down and try to make a move lower. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at, the 15. Let's see, what is this level up here? Not our London high yet. Our London high is actually right about here. All right, so let's look at London high. Remember, 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. Eastern. So it looks like 2:45 a.m. Eastern is our London high. So that's going to be our London high right there. And then Asia high has already been swept. We already came through that level. Let's look down here. What is this level? London low. So we are in between London high and London low here. And it looks like we might have Asia low down here as well. Let's see. No, Asia low was actually up here. So we already swept that. So London high, London low are both unmitigated right now, right? So we could come up and take London high, and then we could reverse and come down and take London low. Or we could take London low and reverse and come up and take London high. So we're gonna have to see what the market's doing at market open, because we very well could see seek and destroy conditions today. Today we don't really have any news coming out, right? We only had one yellow folder pre-market. That's the only thing we have coming out in terms of U.S. news. So I wouldn't be expecting too much, but this is kind of similar to Monday. We didn't have too much on Monday either, and we still saw a pretty big expansion move. So we still could see something, so I'm not counting it out. I'm not counting it out completely. And even yesterday, we didn't have a lot of news, and we still saw expansion. So we still might see expansion today. So I'm not counting it out just because there's not really any news. We're still going to focus on it. But let's look over here at ES. Obviously, we know on the weekly, we're already at all-time highs. Created new all-time highs this week. Let's look at the daily. Previous day low is down here. We did not actually come down and displace the previous day low yesterday, like NQ did. So we did get some SMT at the lows. So previous day low is right there. Let's go to the 4 hour. We did create that 4 hour imbalance, but we never inverse this 4 hour here. And we do have another 4 hour SIBI right above. So a few different levels that we don't see on NQ. So we're going to want to pay attention to ES to see kind of how it's moving, because we kind of saw yesterday and in previous days when ES is failing to move, NQ is usually not moving like we want it to, and we want to see ES moving so that NQ will also move. Let's look at the hourly time frame. Relative to equal highs up here on ES on the hourly, right there. Right, so I definitely see ES coming back for those equal highs up here. That's also our Asia high, and looks like London high already got swept on ES. So Asia highs up here, relative to equal highs. Previous day low, bearish imbalance. Right, so we still look pretty bearish here on ES as well. Let's see, but just a ton of chop, right? So I'd want to see ES come up, sweep buy side up here, and then get a reversal down to sell side. Grab those equal highs. Same thing with NQ. I'd want to see us come up, grab London high, grab buy side first, and then reverse down to sell side. All right, so that's my expectation going into today. Hopefully we don't see seek and destroy. If we do see seek and destroy, we'll look to maybe take some scalps off of it, right, and kind of just read our seek and destroy conditions. Get rid of some of these tabs up here. Right, so that's kind of what we'll be looking for today. Going into market open, we got about 2.5 minutes. All right, so get yourself prepared, get ready for market open, do what you need to do to be fully ready here, and we will wait for this market to open, and we'll start looking for some trades pretty soon. All right, so on the week so far, I've taken one trade on my main account, one trade. That was when was that? Sunday night, I think. Sunday night was the only trade I've taken. I cut it like a few ticks in profit. So really that's the only trade I've taken so far this week on the main account. Yesterday I traded only on FFN. And Monday we never took any trades. So again, it's almost like today is the start of the week for me right now, right? Today is basically the start of the week. Pretty much no trades the first 2 days on the main account. So feeling fresh, feeling ready to go, guys. Feeling ready to go. All right, how are we feeling? How are we feeling? You took that long and finally passed my 150K. Let's go, Annan. I know you were getting close to passing that. Good stuff, man. Congrats. All right, so is it funded now? Do you have that account funded now, Annan? Let's go. Chris feeling great. That's what we like to see. All right, guys. So market's opening in just about a minute. Just about a minute. We got our pre-market analysis down. We are ready to go. We are ready to go. So we might need to wait a little bit to see if we get expansion, right? We might see a lot of seek and destroy previous to expansion, kind of like we've seen, like we saw yesterday. Made a quick 200 in the morning on that account. There we go. Let's go, dude. Very nice. Very nice. All right, so back to the 15-minute busy leading into market open. So far, as you guys can see, just looking at the 5-minute here, very choppy, not creating any fair value gaps really leading into market open. So we're going to want to see this 5-minute looking good. We did create this busy right here, so we do actually have an inverse. We do actually have a 5-minute inverse here. So let's look at this 5-minute IFVG. Yeah, ES is already coming down for lows. ES is already coming down for sell side lows. The market is now opening. Let's see what happens here, guys. Let's see what happens. If we look at the 1 minute, we just created a 1 minute bearish unicorn model, it looks like. And it looks like we got a strong bounce off the bearish unicorn model. All right, high, low, higher, high, displacement of the lows, fair value gap, bounce off the fair value gap, coming down for sell side. Right, this almost looks like a mini market maker model right here on the 1 minute. All right, so we just came down for this low here. ES and NQ have taken out this low now. All right, so no SMT down here because we've both taken out that low. Again, I want to see manipulation first. I'm not looking for the breakout right away. I really want to see manipulation before the real move happens. But again, we're already starting to dump pretty aggressively here. We're already coming down for London low right now. We just took out London low. We have a very strong drop here at market open so far. So let's see if this is going to be the manipulation or if this is going to be the start of the breakout. So 15-minute fair value gap here. Remember, yeah, we do have a 15-minute order block. Another 15-minute busy down here. That's our other 15-minute busy, but we're already dropping pretty aggressively here. Very, very aggressively. We inverse this 5-minute busy up here. Instantly started dropping. So this one right now doesn't look like manipulation. This one looks like breakout, right? This one looks like we just want to start dumping right away. But again, there's not an entry opportunity yet that I'm going to take, right? I'm not going to chase this short. This is a very aggressive candle. I was not expecting this strong of a breakout yet, right? I wanted to see manipulation first. But if we look at this candle right here, we just dropped 165 ticks on that 1 minute candle at market open. So, you know, we're going to have to be patient. We're going to have to be patient and watch this candle. Watch this candle come all the way back up here. Pretty aggressive. Pretty volatile. Pretty volatile stuff so far. So, again, let's just be patient. No need to force any trades here. We'll wait for our setup. We will wait for our setup. So, obviously, we've already taken London low, but what we want to see, if we're going to get a continuation down a previous day low, I'd really want to see us get closure below the 15-minute, or at least strong displacement on the 5-minute. Right, we have our next swing low down here. We just took that swing low as well. Let's look over here on the 5-minute. A little bit of SMT divergence down here. ES hasn't swept that low yet, but it's coming down for it. And then we have this low here. Same low that NQ just took. So we're going to want to see ES take out that low to see continuation. But I'd like to see pullback first, right? I would love to see some pullback first. I would love to see us trade into a good level. If we're going to get a nice short entry, I'd love to see us trade up into a level like this. Right? But this can't be manipulation. If this is manipulation, I'm obviously not going to be looking for a short here. I would start looking for a long if we start inversing. But I would like to see if this is the shorts are going to continue down to this new swing low we're forming here. Right there, and then obviously down to previous day low, as that's our morning target that I want to see us get to. But this could 100%, this could be the manipulation move, right? Look at the 15-minute. If we wick like crazy, if the 5-minute wicks like crazy, this could be manipulation. So I'm not going to assume that this is where we drop from, right? But if we do trade into this level and get a very strong reaction, I would look for my first entry pretty soon off of that 1-minute fair value gap. We'll see if we even trade into it. We do have a 2-minute there. We have a 1-minute there. And we're forming a 3, a 4, not a 5 yet, but we're forming some other fair value gaps. Oh, man, we're not even going back for it. We're not even going back for it. We're already coming all the way back down to this low. So we're just going to have to be very patient this morning. But it already seems like the market is going to move. From what I'm seeing so far, it seems like the market wants to move today. It doesn't seem like it wants to chop around, which is a good sign for us, which means we might be able to catch a nice expansion move. Looks like we just got some more SMT at the lows here. Definitely got some SMT at the lows. NQ just came back down for the lows. ES is still up here a little bit. All right, this one is starting to go. I wanted to catch this one up at the fair value gap. Excuse me. But we didn't want to come back. So this might be just some manipulation right now. We could see us come right back. 5-minute just closed the strong displacement. So we'll see what happens. I'm just going to have to stay patient. All right, we talked about the shorts from market open. We want to see the shorts come in. We wanted to see the shorts come to previous day low, but we haven't been given an opportunity yet to jump in. I haven't seen any entry level yet that I would have enough conviction in to take a trade in the shorts yet. As much as I want to short this market, right? We've been talking about it from the start. We're seeing this strong dump. I haven't seen a real entry level yet, so I haven't been able to. Let's see, we're creating an order block here on the 1-minute and the 2-minute. Remember yesterday, our order blocks were very strong yesterday. Very good levels to trade off of. So I will look to see what kind of reaction we get off of an order block up here. We will see. I need to see ES come down, though. I really want to see ES start coming down a little bit. Sweeping this low so we don't have SMT. But I need to see us retrace, guys. Need to see retracement. I'm not going to take a short from down here. I'm not going to chase. There you go, Mark. Let's go. There we go. From 23.19. Nice, dude. Very nice. All right, so forming a 1-minute bearish for value gap here. Possibly, unless we just run through this level right now, which we might do. Let's see, we got a few seconds left here on this 1 minute. All right, 1-minute fair value gap with an order block up top. Could be a good entry level. If we see a strong bounce off of this, I will look for an entry. If we're going to run right through it, I will stay out. Okay, we're getting a decent bounce off of this level. Decent bounce. I don't trust it just yet. I need to see us really start reacting first. I would need to see us really start reacting before I get an entry. Kind of stalling. Don't trust it yet. Okay, as we start to turn bearish here, I will look for an entry. I need to see us start really reacting, though. It's holding us. This level is definitely holding us down. Okay, I'm going to get an entry. I just got an entry. I just got filled pretty low there, guys. We dropped so quick after I got my entry. But that's okay. Half a lot here. I'm going to test this one out. Aggressive entry on this one. I'm going to keep my stop just above at 23.03. I'm okay. I'm good with this aggressive entry right now. I'm down to have an aggressive entry to try to catch this drop, right? See if we can catch the drop. Obviously, my entry was way lower than I intended, but that's because we got, right as I went to get my entry, price just dropped super aggressively. So I obviously got filled a little bit lower. So if we can't hold this fair value gap, obviously I'll get stopped out, but I'm good with this aggressive entry right now. Right, I'm trying to be a little bit more aggressive on this first entry to try to catch this initial drop down to previous day low. So I might even add into a full if we start to drop more. All right, I'm gonna add into a full here. I'm down for this. I'm down for this risk right now, guys. I'm down for this risk because ES just took out that low as well. So I'm gonna try to catch this one down to 22.54. That's previous day low. I'm going to try to catch this one down to previous day low here. Just put my half a lot TP down here. I might even sell off 4 down there. I might even sell off most of my position there. So I'm going to look to sell 4 down here, honestly, because that's like 137 ticks. So we'll see if this one ends up, you know, actually expanding down to previous day low here, guys. I like this entry. I like that this is our daily, this is our AM sell side target, and we have about 130 something ticks to TP. But now we just have to hold here. We have to hold this level. We have to see some follow through. I don't want to see manipulation back up. If we do, then I might have to cut it early, but for now I'm going to keep holding on to this. I'm going to keep holding on to this for now. Let's look to the left of our charts here. Just some fair value gaps, not too much going on over there. I could definitely see this one dropping the previous day low right now, guys. So if we drop pretty aggressively, I'll just start to kind of de-risk on this one. I'm going to move my stop down already, just above that order block on the 1 minute. So 22.9725. So I'm already de-risking here. So about 36. Let's see, actually a little bit more. There we go. I'm going to make this a risk-free trade here, guys. I think I'm going to move my stop to break even. You know what? I'm going to hold it for now. I'm going to hold it for now. If this one comes up, I'll have to cut it around break even, though. If this one comes up too aggressively, I might just have to cut this one because that was looking very good. And then we just got this extremely aggressive bullish candle right here. So if this order block doesn't hold, I'm just going to have to cut this. Yep. Yep, I'm going to cut this, guys. I'm just going to cut it here. All right, small loss. I mean, initially, that was a fantastic entry. I mean, look at that, guys. We did drop for about 80 ticks, but look at that candle on the 1 minute. That's manipulation right there, right? That's some crazy manipulation, crazy pullback. Crazy pullback. I love that entry, though. I really love that entry. We saw ES dropping, taking out the low. We have previous day low right there, but price wanted to manipulate. We have this 5 minute imbalance up here. So let's see if we get a bounce off this 5 minute up here, and we'll look for another entry. We'll look for another entry off the 5 minute here. But yeah, either way, guys, I really did like that entry there. Obviously, it was a little bit lower than I wanted initially, but I was still fine with that because we saw ES following through. I mean, we were very close to hitting our TP there. We were very close to hitting TP. And obviously, I was about to move my stop to break even, but I just cut it around break even anyways, so that's fine with me. The aggressive entry there almost did play out completely. Almost played out completely, but now we're just going to have to be a little bit more patient. So let's see if we come up into that 5 minute. We're still respecting the 1 minute SIBI here. We're still respecting the 1 minute SIBI. We have not closed above. We have not tapped into the 5 minute yet. Right, but the reason I cut this, guys, is because even if I did keep my stop where it originally was, I would have just gotten stopped out. So I was not going to let that one, you know, go up and stop me out for 60 ticks. Instead, I took a few tick loss. Looks like these shorts might want to still step in here. Let's see if we get inversion of this 1 minute. Let's see if we inverse this 1 minute here. If we can close below this 1 minute, I'll look for another short here. If we get inversion, because we bounced off this 1 minute SIBI, inverse to 1 minute busy, that means I would expect us to come down for this one. We just might not be given the opportunity. Hopefully it doesn't run away from us here. Let's see if it runs away. Again, our order blocks are definitely holding us right now. We bounced off of this 1 minute and 2 minute order block, 1 minute SIBI here. Let's see if we get inversion of this 1 minute busy. No inversion, so no entry yet. Let's see how we close here. We're about to close. Okay, looks like we closed below just barely. Looks like we closed below just barely. So let's see there. Yeah, we barely closed below. I just don't love it yet, but I might look for a half a lot entry here, guys. I'm going to go half a lot. Half a lot entry in these shorts. I'm not going to go full yet just because I need to see more follow through here on this trade. I would need to see more follow through, but I do like that we got inversion. I'm still looking for about 110 tick TP here. I'm going to keep about a 50 tick stop above 22.94. So still in half a lot right now. I'm going to look to sell a few cons at 110. Down at previous day low again, or at, 254. So let's see if we get the follow through on this one here. Let's see if we can get the follow through here. All right, so we got inversion of the 1 minute. We bounced off this 1 minute SIBI here. Now we just need to see if we get follow through. Again, another entry that I really like here, guys. I really like this entry. I'm going to move my stop down a little bit. Moving my stop down there. Here we go. We're almost to first TP here. I'm going to make this risk-free. I'm going to make this a risk-free trade, moving my stop to break even. We're almost at first TP. Let's hit first TP here. There we go. All right, there's first TP. I'm going to leave one runner right now, guys. I'm going to leave a runner. And I'm going to look to maybe, see if there's an opportunity to add back into my position. Let's see. Did ES take out previous day low? No, we haven't taken out previous day low. So we do have SMT here. So again, we waited. We got our re-entry there. 160 ticks. I might just look to sell everything and get a re-entry, honestly, guys. Unless we really start continue to drop. Just because we have SMT at the lows between ES and NQ on the daily. I'm just going to look to sell, guys. I'm just going to get out of this position completely. So I just sold everything. I'm going to take my profit. And here's what I'll do. If I was in a full position, I might have looked to still hold a runner there. But since I only traded half, I'm just going to take my profit and look for a different entry just because we got SMT. But if we're proving that the shorts want to keep going, well, then I'll just get a re-entry and get into, another position here. But good trade there. We were able to get our re-entry. Very good re-entry level right there, right? We saw those shorts coming from a mile away. We got the perfect re-entry level, and now we're going to look and see if we get continuation, down to our next sell side low, down to our next external sell side. Right? So obviously the first entry would have been better. We would have had a little bit more reward, but we still caught 110 ticks with that next entry. That was still 110 ticks with that entry. That's a very solid trade. Very solid reward. All right, so I cut it, so I'm not catching the rest of this profit, but that's okay with me. I just wanted to secure profit there and look for a new entry. Hey, there we go. Up 350, up 800, up 1600, up 585. Let's go, guys. Good stuff, everybody. Yeah, if you just caught that trade and you're happy with your profits, walk away. Stop trading. Stop trading, right? If you're happy with your profits, just walk away. Be content. Up 1106 on 2 accounts. Very nice. So yeah, I really like that re-entry there, guys. All I needed to see was this inverse fair value gap. I waited for us to trade into the inverse. Boom. Entry. 110 ticks. Technically more than 110 because I sold, I don't know where I sold around 110. So about 110 ticks with my half a lot position. So now I'm going to see if we can get some pullback here. Look at that 15-minute. 15-minute close with displacement of previous day low right there. That's a good sign. That means these shorts will probably try to keep stepping in. The only thing is we have SMT at the lows on the daily because this is previous day low down here on ES at 5,850. We have not reached it. So we might see some bigger pullback here. We're going to see if we trade into this 1 minute SIBI, what kind of reaction we get. If we get another very strong reaction off that SIBI, I might look for another short. But if we start to inverse, we might see the long start stepping in a little bit. All right, but this is similar to yesterday. Just looking for shorts, right? Shorts all the way. We talked about it literally from pre-market analysis. The second I hopped on the charts, we said we're looking for the shorts. Now, I wanted to see more manipulation up to buy side first, but we never even saw the manipulation. That's fine. We're still able to catch a nice trade. We waited for our setup. We waited for our perfect A+ setup. And the first one didn't work out. We still got another one. Let's go, honest money. Love to see it. Love to see it. YM is really pumping right now. Let's check it out here. Let's check it out. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Look at that pump on YM right now. We've been seeing a ton of divergence between YM and Q and ES lately. Let's see what the VIX is up to. Okay, VIX is starting to dump here, so we might see a reversal pretty soon, guys. VIX is starting to dump. YM's pumping. All right, if we inverse, right, we got SMT at the lows. We might see a little bit of a reversal here, but I wouldn't trade a reversal unless I saw inversion of this 1 minute SIBI. You know, if we got inversion of that 1 minute SIBI, I would look for a long here. But ultimately, I'm still looking short right now. I still have a short bias. Still have a short bias, right, overall. But when all of these other indices are looking like the longs want to step in, then I'm going to start seeing if the longs want to step in. Dang. Made your rent money in less than 1 hour. That's pretty wild. That's pretty wild. Let's go, Chris. Let's go. Good stuff. You made some money on those accounts yesterday, didn't you? I think I saw it. You sent something to the profits tab, I think, right, Chris? There we go, man. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so really the first day of actual trading for me today this week with my main account, and boom. Catch a nice win here. Catch a nice win. I'm still looking for one more. I'm still looking for one more trade here. All right, if I would have gotten into a full position on that first trade, then I wouldn't be looking for another trade here. I would be completely done. But half a position, all right, I'm going to look for one more trade here. Just tack on a little bit more profit. All right, looks like shorts still want to step in here, guys. Looks like shorts are still trying to step in. We're about to inverse this 1 minute busy. About to get inversion of the 1 minute. We have a 5 minute up here. I would want to see us trade up into the 5 minute. But I don't know if we're going to do that. That was similar to what we saw before, right? We had the 5 minute. We never tapped into it and we still dropped, right? We kind of did that yesterday as well. We formed some 5 minute SIBIs, never traded back into them, and just continued to drop. So when bearish order flow is completely in control, sometimes we don't even see us retrace into those levels. Sometimes we just see us continue to drop. So it looks like these shorts are going to keep going all the way down to this swing low here at 21.96. That's the next TP level. I haven't really gotten a real entry opportunity yet, so I'm not going to take an entry. A little bit of SMT here at the lows again. This is when we want to be careful, though, because when we take out a level like previous day low and we get SMT, sometimes what we'll see happen is a lot of choppiness after that. And so far, what have we seen? A lot of choppiness, right? Not too bad, but we want to be aware of that. Whenever we take out a key level like that, sometimes we do see a little bit of chop while the market is figuring out where it wants to go next, especially when we get big daily SMT. So we're not going to force another entry here. We're just going to wait and see if we get another A+ setup. All right, so SMT at the lows here. ES didn't come down and sweep. NQ did. But we didn't even trade back into the inverse. We didn't trade into the 5 minutes. So we're not trading into any levels yet. You know, maybe a 1 minute order block here, but that's pretty much the only level we've traded back into that we can look to target an entry off of. But I need to see a better level to take an entry here. Need to see a better level, guys. Hey, but as I said before, man, if you just got a lot of profit on that trade, just walk away. Don't get greedy, right? If you've already hit your profit goal on the day, walk away. Don't get greedy. Take your profits and run. You know, if you're in the same boat as me and, you know, you've made some good profit, but you want to get a little bit more just because you haven't reached your goal, that's fine. But look for the A+ setup. Don't look to start forcing trades to try to reach that goal. If we don't see another A+ setup, then I'll walk away with the profit I have right now. Just like when I walk away when I'm losing, right? Even if I haven't hit my daily loss limit, if there's no A+ setups, I'm going to walk away with whatever loss I have. Same thing when it comes to winning. Same thing. Just because you want to reach a certain goal doesn't mean you should go against your trading plan. Don't change it up. Stay consistent. We talked about this yesterday. Stay consistent every single day no matter what you do. No matter what the market looks like, you stay the same. You don't change up. Stay disciplined. Win or lose. All right, guys. So the shorts definitely want to keep going here. I'm just waiting to see if I get another good entry level. I just want to see another good entry level here. We haven't given me another good entry level. We haven't traded back into the 1 minute inverse. 1 minute fair value gap. Donde? Up here? I would like to see us trade back into the inverse, but yeah, if we could trade up to there, that would be better because that would trade into a 5 minute SIBI and a 1 minute SIBI. We'd grab relatively equal highs up here on the 1 minute. This would be more ideal from up here. That would definitely be more ideal. So let's see if we're going to make it back up there here. But what did I say before? After we take out a key level like previous day low, what have we done? We've chopped around, right? We have not gotten continuation. And that's why I wanted to sell everything because, you know, I expected, obviously we dropped a little bit more, but I didn't expect us to expand too much after that, especially getting SMT. We might have an inverse 2 minute busy. Okay, let me check it out here. Give me 1 second. Okay, so let's check it out. We're in the 1 minute inverse right now, bearish inverse. Let's see if we close above. We might close above, create some bullish inverse here. But I'm okay with that. That doesn't necessarily tell me we're going to completely reverse. I need to see us trade into here. If we close above this level, that's when I'm expecting us to pull back pretty far. But as long as we're, you know, trading into this level and we're holding below, I still expect us to drop. I still expect shorts to still step in. But we're just going to have to really stay patient here for us to, you know, chop around for a little bit, have some manipulation, and then get our entry. Boom, 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 boom. All right, guys, so we're bouncing off the inverse right now. We are bouncing off the inverse. But I don't trust it yet. We just formed a 1 minute busy. Did we get inversion? We got a 2 minute bullish inverse here. Cheers, everybody. Cheers. Guys, I just got this new Columbia fleece jacket right here. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. I would recommend 10 out of 10. What's up, Matthew? You got questions, I got answers. All right, guys, so that inverse is holding us strong right now. Hey, there you go, Jay Lee. It's so comfortable, man. One M&Q contract 50 ticks is worth how much? I asked this before, but I forgot. So it's going to be 50 cents per tick, right? So if you times 50 by 50, what do you get? 250. So 1 M&Q, right? I think I'm doing that math correct, right? Wouldn't it be 200? Let's see, 50 times 0.5. Oh, 25 bucks, excuse me. 25 bucks, obviously not 250. Yeah, so 25 bucks because you will multiply 50 cents. So 0.5 times 50, you'd get $25. So you'd be risking 25 bucks on that. Yeah, so just remember 50 cents a tick for 1 M&Q. If you're trading 2 M&Q, that's $1 a tick. So you can just multiply based off that. All right, so shorts still want to step in. We're obviously seeing all of this chop right now. I need to see ES continue to drop, but I want to see these shorts come down to this next low. So if we can trade up into this 1 minute SIBI we just formed and get a strong bounce off of it, we might be able to catch a nice trade here. I just don't like this chop. We might have to really wait because this one could possibly come right back up, manipulate, grab highs. We might start seeing, you know, some more manipulation here, so we can see what kind of reaction we get off of this 1 minute right now. Just very choppy here. 5 minute, a lot of wicks down there. 5 minute looks pretty ugly. Currently, the 5 minute looks pretty ugly. Right, so I don't necessarily trust it just yet because ES isn't making lower lows and NQ is making lower lows, so we see continuous divergence here. So I don't really trust it just yet. Buenos dias, Pablo. ¿Cómo estás? All right, we just got a pretty nice reaction off of that. Pretty nice reaction. Didn't really give me the chance to get my entry, but we might see these shorts start dropping here. That was a great reaction off of that 1 minute SIBI there. The only issue is if I get my entry down here, I don't like that because we still have SMT at the lows and I'm only looking at 84 ticks of TP. So I would still rather wait. I would rather miss out on this trade right here if it does drop, right, than force an entry right now with SMT, with weird price action and then get stopped out, right? I would much rather miss out on this move right here than take a bad entry. You know what I mean? Way rather do that. I'd way rather wait for a much better entry. Let's just look at our higher time frames. What are we looking at here, right? This is an hourly swing low. That's our next liquidity level we're looking for price to target. After that, we don't really have too much. We have one more swing low down here on the hourly. Right there. That's another swing low. And then we don't really have another swing low in the hourly until down here. So right there. And then looking at, you know, smaller time frames, we might be able to see some more sell side. No more sell side on the 15 minutes. Let's look at the 5 minutes. Those are pretty much all the same sell side levels. So that's pretty much what we're looking at here for our next TPs. It's all these internal and external. They all line up pretty well here. So we're looking for 21.96, 21.6475, ultimately down to 25.625. If we're going to see us continue to drop that far. But again, I still don't trust this right now, guys. As much as we are respecting our bearish for value gap on the 1 minute, we still keep getting SMT divergence here. As much as I want to see us drop, I'd rather wait to see us drop and then get another entry to catch us down to the next TP, the next sell side level. Estoy bien. Gracias. Doing good, man. Doing good. No complaints here. No complaints here. Chop, chop, chop. Well, I'm glad we got a win before we started chopping, right? So we have our profit already. So if need be, we can just walk away and be happy, right? We can walk away with our profits, be content. I would rather look for, you know, another trade. I'd want to see another trade. I want to make a little bit more profit here. I would love to, because this market so far has looked pretty good until here. Until the chop. But we obviously assumed that we would start chopping here, so we were ready for it. Looks like these shorts really are trying to go, but ES is holding us back right now. Hey, there we go, Pablo. Of course, man, of course. Dubs, dubs, dubs. So we did create a little bit of a 5 minute bearish order block. We tapped into it. We are getting a reaction off of it. We're getting a reaction off a 1 minute SIBI. But still, ES cannot move down. So I just still don't have enough conviction to jump in. Half my profit goal in the day, but I'm feeling greedy. It's a joke, but it's also real at the same time. Isn't that, it's such a weird, like, it's so weird to think that even though you just made, like, you probably just made more money than you would have made at any job that you've probably ever worked, you still feel like you need to make more money, right? Like, within an hour time frame, right? Within an hour time frame, you'd probably just made more money than any job you've ever worked, but yet you feel like it's not enough. Isn't that such a weird, that's such a weird thing that we have to work through that. Because that's how I always felt. Like, I would be like, I just made like quadruple what I would have ever made in a month in one single trade. Yet I feel like I need to make more. And then I have to like ground myself and be like, that is so greedy of me to think that way. That is so greedy of me to think that way. Like, just be content that I just made a good chunk of change, right? Be content with that money. Like, I would have never been able to make that money in any other job I ever worked before. No job I ever worked, I would have been able to make that money in such a short time frame. So that's kind of when I started. That's the mindset I shifted to be like, okay, don't get greedy. Just take those profits and be happy. Just be happy that you don't, you know, when I started to do that, I'm like, if I can do this consistently, then I won't have to work this job anymore. You know what I mean? But if I get greedy, I'm going to have to go right back to that job because I couldn't just hold on to my profits. And now I'm going to make less money at my job in more time. Like, you got to think about it that way. Think about it that way. But like, I mean, if you think about it, okay, here's this now pumping here, guys, right? This is why I didn't want to take the shorts down here because of that SMT, because of this possible pullback. But look, we just traded into the 5-minute SIBI here. 5-minute SIBI, 15-minute SIBI. We just closed on the hour. I want to see continuation to sell side. So now I want to see us trade up into this level and start dropping. Start inversing some bullish fair value gaps. So we're going to have to wait a little bit to see that happen because that was a pretty strong pump at this new hourly candle. But we are in silver bullet, and I love that we just traded into a 5-minute and a 15-minute SIBI here. So now I want to see if we're going to get a reaction off of these levels. ES is pumping pretty aggressively. Let's see what ES is looking like over here on the 15. ES is already trying to inverse this 15-minute fair value gap here. The 5-minute completely came up. Very strong close there. So let's see if we're going to get a full-on reversal right now. Ultimately still have my bearish bias, but we will see here what happens if we trade back into a 1-minute busy. What happens here? Yeah, I mean, you got to think about it this way. Like, what the average, I don't know what the average income is in the US, like for minimum wage, but I would assume it's probably like around, I don't know, 10 to 15 bucks if you average it out throughout the entire US. 10 to 15 bucks an hour, because I know some states are still very low. States like California are very high. I would assume the average is probably around 12 to 15 probably. I don't know. I could be completely off. But if you think about it, let's say you just worked an 8-hour shift, you're working minimum wage, and you're making 15 bucks. You just made 120 bucks for the day. Imagine if you just made 120 bucks in the market within 1 hour. You basically just worked an entire shift at minimum wage right there, and that's 120 bucks. That's 120 bucks. Right? So like, think about it that way, man. Try to think about it that way. You don't have to be making thousands of dollars. No, all you need to do is make enough money to where you can start supplementing your income. That's what it's about. Start supplementing your income. Average salary is around 59K, so about 60. Okay, so let's say you do work a 9 to 5. Let's say you have a salary job. You're working about 59. Let's say 59,000 divided by 52 weeks. So you're making about $1,100 a week, a little over $1,100 a week. If you worked, let's say you worked every week of the year. Okay, if you divide that by, let's say you divide that by 5, right, for 1 week. Okay, that's $227 a day. So the average salary job, if you're working 52 weeks, you're making about $227 a day. Think about it that way, guys. Some of you just made double, triple, quadruple that number within 30 minutes. Right? Within 30 minutes. Some of you might have made that number within 30 minutes, or maybe a little bit less, but that's still very solid money. And if you do work a normal 9 to 5, or you do work a job, think about that as extra money on the side. That's just extra money now that you have, that you can go, pay off debt with, or do whatever you need to do with it, right? Use it for fun. Use it for what you want to use it for. That's the way I think about it. You don't need to be making crazy amounts of money right now, if you're not ready to make that money yet. All right, so it looks like we're getting that full reversal here. Obviously, we have this big 15-minute imbalance, so I'm still not convinced. But ES is looking very bullish. I want to see what we do at this 5-minute. Let's look what the VIX is doing. VIX is probably dumping right now. Yep, the VIX dumped off very aggressively. So we might really start seeing these long step in, guys. ES is already pumping up to high of day right now. NQ's a little bit less. NQ's kind of chilling. I really want to see us inverse this 5-minute here. If these longs are going to step in, I want to see us inverse the 5 minute. We could head up back for VWAP for sure. What I want to see is what is our equilibrium of this range right here. Swing low to swing high. Equilibrium right around here, 229225. So we might see us head up at least to the premium of this range. And maybe up to these recent highs up here. Right around VWAP. Looks like we're definitely going for those right now. So now I'm going to start shifting my focus towards longs. We're about to inverse that 5 minute. I'm going to start shifting my focus a little bit to the longs here. All right, so we have an inverse 5 minute that we just created right here. I would like to see us trade back for that or start creating some 1 minute fair value gaps that we could take entries off of. We have a 1 minute order block right here. A little bit of a 1 minute order block. I don't think we're coming back right now. This reversal is starting to come in pretty aggressive. Yes, exactly, Jack, right? Because that money will never reach your bank account unless you can stay disciplined and consistent, 100%. You got to stay disciplined and consistent. But what most people, the reason they don't stay disciplined and consistent is, one of it is greed. One reason is greed, because they think they need to make more. And then what do you end up doing? You end up blowing your account, which we've all done it. No shame, right? It happens to everybody. But if you start thinking about things with more perspective like that, you might shift your focus a little bit and start thinking about, wow, I just actually made some pretty decent money. Imagine if I did that at least 3 to 4 days a week. You know, maybe I take 2 losses, but I keep my losses small. You know, in the next 6 months, maybe I'll have enough money to supplement my income. Maybe I'll be making as much as I do at my job in trading. Maybe in the next year, I'll make, you know, as much at my job as I do in trading. It's not going to happen overnight, but if you can stay consistent, it's possible for it to happen, right? All right, 1 minute busy. I really want to see us trade into that 1 minute busy here. Do you see a bearish fair value gap? Yes, we have a big bearish fair value gap on the 15. Guys, we just reached the equilibrium. So I wanted to see us reach the equilibrium of this range here. That was the first thing I wanted to see us do. We already reached it. Yeah, so that's the other thing, right? This is why my TP was going to be around. My first TP I wanted to take around equilibrium. I wanted to take full TP up here if we were going to continue to see a push on this trade. But now we do have SMT at the highs. ES is taking out the high, and now NQ is showing weakness after taking out the equilibrium. But again, we still look a little bit bullish here. So we're going to see how much we want to push up. See if we do want to come grab these highs up to VWAP. Or if we're going to start reversing back down, then we'll shift right back to the shorts again, right? So let's see how we react off of this fair value gap right now. If we trade into this 1 minute busy, how are we going to react off of it? So we'll just stay patient here. Just stay patient. These longs might keep going here. Busy stands for buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. Hey, there you go, Chickleen. There you go, Chickleen. Good stuff from 2238. Wow, there we go. Got it all the way down here. Very nice. All right, so this one looks like it wants to keep going up to that buy side high right here, up to that next liquidity level. But yet again, we haven't traded back into a level that I could take an entry off of yet. Right, there hasn't been one fair value gap retracement yet. We haven't traded back into one fair value gap. And then we inverse the 5 minute. We never traded back into the inverse. So that's, you know, there's not much I can do about that. When I don't see us trade into my levels, I'm not going to take an entry, right? If we don't trade into my levels, I will not take an entry. It's simple as that. As much as I did want to catch these longs, as much as we saw the reversal stepping in, I didn't see my entry model, so I couldn't jump in. Right, but that we're going up to that full TP level here. That was the full TP I was looking for right around this high. Yeah, we've had literally no pullback, right? We've created order blocks, didn't trade back into them. Created fair value gaps, didn't trade back into them. And it is what it is. We can't, you know, I'm not going to be upset about it. That just means the market didn't want me to get involved. The market didn't want me to steal money. That's all right. I'll wait for a little bit longer. Yeah, so we are creating a 5-minute busy down here. Creating a 5-minute busy down here. As you guys can see, I love when we create 5-minute fair value gaps, guys, because those tell us so much about where the market wants to go. Those tell us everything about where the market wants to go, man. Like, if we see us bouncing off a 5-minute busy and then inversing a 1-minute SIBI, I'm expecting longs. If we see us run through and inverse a 5-minute busy, creating 1-minute SIBIs, I'm looking for shorts. The 5-minute imbalances are so crucial, guys. So crucial. I love our 5-minute imbalances, along with our 15-minute as well. Let's look at the daily. Yeah, so overall, our daily still looks very bearish overall, but that is a very strong pullback here. Very, very strong pullback, right? So this one looks like it wants to continue up. We're going to see what happens after taking that buy side level that we just took. So that's the full TP I wanted right there. So now we're at VWAP. Now we just took buy side liquidity. We still have SMT at the highs because ES is all the way up here. Look at right here. This is that same level on ES. So we have big SMT at the highs right now. So if this one's going to continue up, we might still be able to find another opportunity if we can catch an entry right above VWAP. Right? Or if price is going to start coming back down again, then we'll just wait for inversion and we'll look for shorts again. So 5 minutes just created a 5-minute busy below. 15-minute just closed. What I do want to look for here, did we close around equilibrium on the 15-minute candle or the 15-minute SIBI? We closed just under equilibrium on the 15-minute SIBI there, exactly at the equilibrium. Exactly at the equilibrium there. Now I see a bullish fair value gap on the 15. So technically not bullish yet, right? Not a fair value gap yet until this next 15-minute candle closes. But, right, it could be creating a fair value gap right now. But we do have a 5-minute bullish fair value gap right here. Chicklin, you said, I feel like NQ pumped hard because ES did previously, but NQ lagged behind, but as ES has been around VWAP waiting. Yeah, exactly, right? While NQ was stalling a little bit, ES was making its move, right? So we expected, that was one of our confluences, right? We expected the longs to step in because we were seeing ES pumping. That was one confluence. The VIX was dumping. We took out daily low. We got SMT divergence at the lows. We inversed the 5-minute SIBI, right? So we had a bunch of confluence. We just never saw an entry level. We just never saw our entry model. But you're right. That is one confluence that I was looking for. Is it a 5-minute IFVG? So our 5-minute IFVG is down here, right? When we closed above this level, that was one confluence for us. But see how we never traded back into that 5-minute inverse? But now we created a 5-minute busy overlapping the SIBI. So this is a balanced price range right here, which could be a very strong support level. So we could trade back into this busy and see another bounce. And if we don't, if we run through this busy, I'm now looking for shorts back to the low of day. All right, so we're trading right around the equilibrium of our range right now. Right around the equilibrium of our range. I'm obviously not going to look for a long position right under VWAP yet. I would need to see us start pushing through VWAP to take my entry. Right, I'd want to see us above VWAP to give me a good entry model here. What I don't want to do is take a trade around VWAP and we start chopping around. We got SMT at the highs, and then I get chopped out. Right? Not going to do that. And like I said before, guys, if I don't take another trade during the session, I'm completely okay with that. I can walk away with the profit I have, and I'm happy. Obviously, I want to make a little bit more just because I still have my daily goal that I'd like to get to. But if I don't do that, that's fine. If we don't have another setup, then I'll stay out. VWAP setting is right here. Anchor period session, source HLC3, offset 0, band multiplier 1. And then standard deviation here. That's my VWAP setting right there. Of course. Excuse me. I gotta drink some water, guys. Christian, you said, I'm happy with my profit for the day. See you guys, plus 1,600. There we go, Christian. Good stuff today, man. You have a great rest of your day, brother. Have a great rest of your day. All right, so we almost tapped into the busy here. We inversed a 1 minute busy, but again, don't really trust it right now. I want to see if we're going to continue to pump here. Obviously, we're chopping around because we got SMT, because we're right around VWAP. Yeah. Yep, I'm sure a lot of people have complained to TopStep about their VWAP with TopStep X. I've heard some issues. Heard a lot of issues. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, TopStep X is still in like a very startup phase. I mean, they just opened it, like 4 or 5 months ago? Something like that. So they're going to have their bugs. They're going to have their issues. So we'll see how long it takes them to work through those issues. One trade made back my losses. There we go. Batman. Risk management, that's what it's about. That's what it's about right there. Rulies, you're up 1,200 on a 150k eval. Let's go. Let's go. All right, so longs are still trying to step in right now, but too choppy here. I really need to see us trade above VWAP, create another bullish for value gap that I can look for an entry off of. Guys, just want to say one thing real quick. We just created a testimonies tab. I talked about it yesterday in prop firm just for a second, but we would really appreciate your guys' feedback in the testimonies tab, or just if you've had a good experience in this community, we would love to see what you guys say about it. So we'd really appreciate that. Again, no pressure, but if you feel inclined to do so, we would appreciate you leaving some kind of review or testimony. All right, that's my one call to action today. That's my one call to action for you guys today. All right, guys, so chop. Just waiting for us to get above here. Waiting for us to get above. Because ultimately, if we are going to see a full reversal, right, looks like a little bit of a market maker buy model here on the 1 minute. That means we would come all the way up to right here. Right, we'd come all the way up to that buy side level right here. So we'd still have a lot of reward to catch. Here. We're still in silver bullet. We have a lot of time left in our silver bullet hour. So if we can create another fair value gap above VWAP, we can get some follow through. I will look for another entry. I look a little chilly. Not with this thing on. I'm not. Yeah, I just had to go shopping. Me and Braden just had to go shopping for some winter clothes, because I did not have the wardrobe for the winter time, that's for sure. Chilly Joe, Icy Joe. I like Icy Joe. That's a good one. My head's going to be cold, that's for sure. Yeah, it's supposed to drop really, really cold this weekend, so I'm getting prepped for that. Yes, we are going to do EE beanies. Yeah, KT. Let's go. Rocking the stash. Come on, it's a trend. Bringing back the 80s. That's what we're doing. Doc, you had a freeze. Where are you at again? You had a freeze overnight. Whew. It's starting to get there. Northeast Kansas. Okay. The low today in Bama is 36 degrees. All right, so it looks like we're starting to get a cold front around the U.S. Looks like things are starting to get cold. Yeah, it'll probably snow this weekend. Probably not where I'm at, but very close to where I'm at. We'll get some snow this weekend for sure. It's very close to snowing here. It's going to be raining with like almost freezing temperatures. So I don't know if we'll actually get snow. It's just crazy though, because it was like 80 degrees this entire week, like high 70s, low 80s, and then out of nowhere it's going to drop like 40 degrees. Dude, I will say though, like California cold is a different type of cold, man. California cold is still very cold. It's colder than what people think it is. It's not like obviously like a snow cold, but it gets cold. It catches you off guard. Yeah, exactly, the desert cold. All right, guys, I'm trying to find an entry model here, an entry level for these longs, because I want to see these longs step in. I just need to see a fair value gap entry right now. That's what I'm waiting for, guys. I'm literally just waiting for a fair value gap entry here. All right, so now we're running away. Like we said, we're doing this market maker buy model, right? Sell side of the curve, buy side of the curve, distribution 1, right? And then we got our consolidation. We're getting our distribution 2 here. So I want to see us. I just need to see now my silver bullet fair value gap entry here. That's all I've been waiting for. We're not giving me that entry level. We are not giving me that entry level right now. Come on. We're just going to run away and not give me an entry. It's not cool. That's not cool. Look at ES just ran off my screen. ES is pumping. So full on buy model here. So I'm looking for us to come right back to high of day. And we might see us actually go up for London high. Yeah. We'll have prop firm session today. You said daily candle. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Daily candle starting to turn green now. Just get rid of that. All right. So I'm looking for pullback into this 1 minute fair value gap. I'm looking to target a long entry up to this high. I just need to see an actual entry level here, guys. Need to see an actual entry level. Because we were waiting for us to trade above VWAP. We did not trade into a fair value gap. And then we finally created a fair value gap, and now we're running away from that bullish fair value gap. We just almost inversed this fair value gap here on the 1 minute. Let's look at the 15 minute. The 15 minute has almost completely inversed the 15 minute SIBI up here. All right, this is the 15 minute SIBI, the top of it. So we just tapped into a 15 minute bearish order block to the top of the 15 minute SIBI. We have SMT at the highs, but I want to see if we're going to get continuation here. I just need to see us pull back. All right, come on. Here we go. Let's see. Do we start to bounce now? If we start to bounce off this fair value gap, I'll look for an entry here. Silver bullet long. But we need to see a bounce. From here. All right, we're getting a good bounce. I want to see this candle start turning green. Obviously, my entry is going to be higher than, it would be off the initial touch into the fair value gap. All right, I'm going to get an entry in half a lot here. We're looking for about how many ticks? About 127 ticks for a first TP. So I'm going to keep my stop down below 23.2050. So we got a good bounce off the silver bullet fair value gap. I want to see us trade up to here. If we start pumping, I'll add into a full. I'm going to add into a full here, guys. Full position, which means I'm going to have to move my stop up a little bit. Just because my entry moved up a little bit. All right, so I'm in a full. I'm looking to catch 117 ticks for a first TP. So I'm going to keep about, 55, maybe 58 tick stop here just at that low of the wick. At like 2350 there, and I'm going to look for a first TP up at 236725. Okay, but we need to see follow through. I don't like that. We're no follow through here. We didn't get the follow through like I wanted to see here, guys. So we're going to have to hold. The SMT's holding us down, but ultimately, again, I still like this entry. Fair value gap entry, but look at the wicks on the 5 and the 15. Not the best here. And we have a 2-minute busy right where our stop is, so I don't love that. All right, we're really going to need to see this one start pushing through here, guys. This one might come down and target my stop here. This might target my stop. Let's see. I still like this entry, though. I still have conviction in these longs. So even if I get stopped out, all right, it just stopped out some of my position. It just took out 2 of my contracts there, so it didn't stop me out fully. So if we do come back up, I'll just add back into those 2 cons. But it did move my entry up a little bit. So if we can bounce again off this level, let's see, do we just get SMT again? Obviously we have SMT at the lows, but SMT at the highs as well. But we're starting to chop a little bit. We're starting to chop a little bit. I need to see this one keep going. The 5-minute, we are about to create a 5-minute busy here. So I might need to cut this one and wait for a re-entry, honestly. If we're going to come into that 5-minute. Let's see what we do around break even. If we don't start pumping, I will just cut it and wait for a re-entry here. So we're right around break even. If we can pump through, I'll keep holding on to this. But if we're going to come back down, I'm going to cut it and wait for us to go into the 5-minute busy below. Like that. We're struggling, we're struggling, we're struggling. All right, let's see here how this 1 minute closes. I just don't like that our stop is right at the entry of that 5-minute busy. So I might have to cut this one. I'm going to see how this closes, though. Let's see how this 1 minute closes. Because if we close with displacement above these highs and we still see follow through, then I'll keep holding on to it. But if we're going to come back down, I'm just going to cut it, get a re-entry once we bounce off the 5-minute busy. Because I do expect these longs to continue, guys. I expect these longs to keep going. I have conviction in these longs right now. So that was a decent close there. Decent close. So I'm going to wait and see how far we come back down. We're just very choppy here. All right, I'm just going to cut this, guys. I'm going to wait for us to trade into the 5-minute. Once we trade into the 5-minute, I'll get a re-entry, right? Let's wait for us to trade into this 5-minute. So I just cut it for, for a loss there. But now, that's because we created that 5-minute busy. We created some longer wicks. So let's see what we do once we come into the 5-minute and then bounce, right? I still love these longs. I still like the entry I took. It's just the fact that we created a 5-minute imbalance below and started chopping. I wasn't going to let that one come all the way down and have my stop loss right at the entry of a 5-minute busy, right? So let's see what we do when we trade into this 5-minute busy. We just tapped into it. Now I want to see a good reaction off this 5-minute busy, and I want to look for a re-entry. I want to look for a good re-entry here. Okay, so we traded into it. Let's see if we get a good bounce here. If we get a good bounce, I'm going to look for a re-entry here. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, we're getting a good bounce so far. We did create a 1-minute bearish order block here. I don't like that too much. Don't like that too much, so I might need to be a little bit more patient here. But it looks like these longs are going to start going pretty soon. So again, no entry yet. I'm still being patient because of that 1-minute bearish order block here. Might have to give it a little bit more time. Might need to give it a little bit more time here for an entry. Just a little bit. Just this chop right here. The chop is being too choppy. Being too choppy. Need to see us start pumping. Don't want to see us hanging around this level. So I'll wait for that entry. I will wait for that entry here. All right, the 5-minute looks good. We tapped into the 5-minute. Now we just need to see us really start bouncing from here. It's just the 1-minute that looks pretty ugly. No follow through yet. Let's see if we can start bouncing from here. I will look for another entry. All right, so this 5-minute bounce comes all the way down to here. All the way down to here, which is why I want to wait. What I would like to see us do is create a 1 minute SIBI right now. Create a 1 minute SIBI and then run through that 1 minute SIBI, get inversion, get an entry off of an inverse fair value gap. I would like to see that a little bit more. Maybe see if we're going to trade down to VWAP and get a strong reaction off of VWAP. All right, so traded down to VWAP. Let's see how we bounce off of this level. We need to see a strong bounce from here. 2 minute looks good. 1 minute starting to look good here. Let's look at the hourly. Pull back on the hourly, but ultimately very strong hourly candle. Right, we have these equal highs up here. That's where I expect us to go. Okay, that's a great bounce from there. I'm going to start looking to target a long entry here. Still respecting the 1 minute and the 5 minute. If we can start to bounce on this candle right now, if we can start to pump on this candle, I'll look for an entry. But I need to see a pump from it. I'm not going to get an entry off a bearish candle. Hey, what's up, Gabe? Yeah, we've taken 2 trades. We took one short for 110 ticks. And then we just tried out this long, got stopped out, or cut the trade early on this long because we didn't get the follow through because we started to chop around. And now we're looking for a re-entry in these longs. But so far we're not being provided with that entry yet. We're not being provided with that entry. Update on geopolitical news. North Korea has troops in Ukraine fighting for Russia. That's crazy. Israel will be striking Iran any day now. That's crazy. Iran said they'll strike back bigger. China's trying to Taiwan in a training exercise. North Korea blew up 2 roads in South Korea. Wow, this is a lot. And demilitarized zone and reinforced borders with mines and artillery division. 1/3 of the U.S.-Mexico border cameras aren't working. Well, this is very interesting. This is very interesting stuff. All I'm doing here is just sitting on a computer taking trades. Come on, man. I don't want to go fight on the Russian front. What, do they think I'm supposed to go and fight on the Russian front? Come on. Oh yeah, I am draft age, but I do have some injuries, so I don't even know if they would let me. I don't even know if they would accept me. We'll see. We'll see if it happens. On the West Coast, you'd probably go to Taiwan. I think I'd rather do that, honestly. I think I'd way rather do that. Yeah, dude, I mean, you're Batman, bro. You wouldn't even need anybody else. It could just be you. All right, guys, these shorts are still coming back down. We're now trading below VWAP, trading into a 5-minute order block. Looks like we don't want to see continuation right here. We do have a 15-minute busy down here. We never closed above the 15-minute SIBI. Longer wick on the hourly here. Remember, we did have SMT at the highs. All right, so if we get inversion here of the 5-minute, we might see the shorts start really stepping in again. These shorts are trying to step in again pretty aggressively here. Well, if I do get drafted, John, you're going to have to take over live trading. Since you've already served your time, me and Braden will be out there fighting. John will be here trading. Eternal exchange never dies. It's eternal. Yeah, that'd be sick. I'm a single child. Will I get drafted? Chickling, okay, so I'm just joking because, like, I don't really know if they would actually do a draft. I'm not trying to fearmonger you right now. I don't even know if they will do a draft. I'm just messing around. If they did, then pretty much any male in the that's a U.S. citizen over, I think, what is it, 18 to like 25 or something, has the possibility of getting drafted if you did selective service. Just break your leg. Okay, shorts are stepping in. Shorts are stepping back in. Break your leg, go to college. Become a minister. If you don't want to go that bad. Oh, I'll go serve my country. Wait, so what do you mean if you're a single child? I'm a little bit confused by what you mean by that. Oh, I don't know if that really matters, to be honest. I don't know. I'm no expert, guys. Don't listen to me. All right, guys. So we're trading all the way back into the 15-minute busy here. So this is where it gets interesting right now. This is where it gets interesting. I think this 1-minute Sibby right here will tell us the story. Right? Because now we are fighting between 15-minute busy, 15-minute Sibby. We inverse to 5-minute busy. So if we trade up into this 1-minute Sibby right here, and we get a reaction off of it, shorts are going. Shorts are going to keep going. But if we run through this 1-minute Sibby, then I would expect the longs to step back in. Okay, real question though. If you get drafted, do you get to choose what branch you go serve in? I've always wondered that. Okay, guys, it looks like these shorts are going, but even in these shorts right now, we don't have an entry level yet. We still don't have an entry level here. Even with these shorts dropping right now, I don't have an entry level yet. We're not tapping into any fair value gaps here on the 1 minute. I want to see how we react off this 5-minute busy and the 15-minute busy. If we're going to run through them or not. If we run through them, we're looking for shorts all the way back down to low of day. No, they would assign you. That's fair, I guess. Dude, but what if I'm not a very good swimmer, man? I have messed up shoulders. Don't put me in the Coast Guard. Okay. Well, we are looking to inverse right now on the 5 minutes, the 15 minutes. We're about to close on both of those time frames in a few minutes. So if we close below, shorts are 100% the play, but we still need to see an entry level. I still do not see any entry levels here. Maybe if we create this 1-minute order block. If we can create a 1-minute bearish order block, I would look for a short off of this. Looks like these shorts are completely in control again. So, no market maker buy model. Looks like the shorts are the move. Looks like we want to come all the way down to low of day. So if we can trade back into this order block. Right, we're about to get full inversion of a 5-minute and a 15-minute busy. I just need to see a real entry, guys. I'm not going to chase price right now. I'm not going to chase price. Yeah. Would your Call of Duty ranking put you higher? Give you a higher rank in the military? Right. With a college degree, though, doesn't that give you? Aren't you an officer if you join the military with a college degree? Yeah, but then everybody's gonna hate you. You'll get a higher rank. Okay, that makes sense. For enlisted. Okay, I see. I see. So that's like only if you go to like West Point or go to like a military school. All right, guys, so we're about to get full inversion here. I'm just waiting for the entry level on these shorts right now. We just formed a small 1 minute bearish for value gap. We have a 1 minute bearish order block. You can apply for office candidates with a college degree. Okay. I wouldn't even do that, honestly. I would just go enlisted. All right, so we're about to inverse here. We need to close below. We need to close below on the 15. I think we are going to close below. So let's see if we get a good reaction here off this 1 minute SIBI. I'll look to target a short down to low of day. Probably look for a first TP somewhere around this 1 minute. Look for full TP down here. Okay, we got to see a good reaction here. Because we did not... Okay, we did inverse. We did inverse here. So now I need to see a good reaction off this level. If we can react off this order block or this fair value gap, I'm looking for a short. We are trading into the 5 minute inverse here. Now the 15 minute did technically inverse. So we got 2 inverse fair value gaps. So now I want to see these shorts come all the way down to low of day. All right, once I see this reaction, I'm getting in the shorts here, guys. Once I see a reaction, I need to see some good bounce from this level. I'm not just going to jump into the entry. I need to see us bounce from this level. Looks like we're going to close above the 1 minute. We're not getting any type of reaction off the order block right now. No reaction off the order block, so no entry yet. No entry yet. Looks like we're still trying to trade up a little bit. Even after getting inversion. Right, we could wait to see if we form a 1 minute busy right here. We could take the inverse busy entry here. Or if I start seeing a reaction here, I'm going to jump in. I'm going to jump into an entry here in the shorts, guys. Half a lot right now, but if we start to continue to drop, because I want to keep my stop above this order block right now. We just bounced off the inverse. I'm going to put my stop up at 22.7675. Oops, not a limit order. All right, I really want to see these shorts start stepping in here, guys. We need to see some follow through here. That's not the follow through I was looking for. All right. Not the follow through I was looking for there. That's fine. Again, I still have a lot of room to trade, right? If I want to take trades, if I want to take more trades after this, even if this one comes up and stops me out, I still have a lot of room to trade. So I was looking for a better entry here because I wanted to keep my stop above this order block, but we're coming up and looking like we want to target a little bit higher, like we want to come up for the 5 minute SIBI up here. So we'll see. I mean, I'm still in this trade right now, just half a lot. Didn't want to add into a full until we started to drop more. All right, so still respecting the order block here, but we're not getting any kind of follow through that I wanted to see. So for the re-entry, what would I need to wait for? I would need to wait for us probably to trade into a 5 minute SIBI up here and then come down. But the reason I like this entry still, guys, is because we trade into the 5 minute inverse. We trade into the 15 minute inverse. We trade into a 1 minute bearish order block. We got a great reaction off the order block. So I still like this entry overall. Still like this entry. But we're just not seeing the follow through that I was expecting right away. So again, I'm still holding on to this one just because it's half a lot. I still have a bunch of room to trade, right? So I'm not worried. If we start to drop here, I'll add into a full position. We just need to see a strong reaction off this order block right now. Strong reaction off this order block here. Got to see some follow through right now. Not enough follow through. I don't like this as much. So I might need to wait for us to trade into the 5 minute. Once we do that, then I'll get my re-entry. All right, so I'll probably have to get my re-entry in the 5 minute, right? If we're going to trade up to here. Again, guys, not worried about taking a loss because every trade I've taken today, I've really liked the trade setup. Every trade I've taken, I've liked my trade setup. So Again, I still have so much room to trade that I'm okay with this. Closed above. So now I need to see us trade up into the 1 minute or the 5 minute SIBI up here. Now I need to see us trade up into the 5 minute SIBI to give me a better entry level. This gives us more reward on the trade, right? But I still really liked that short. Still really, really like that short. Man, all of my conviction was there. All my conviction was there. It was all there, but we just didn't see the fall through. So let's see if we're going to trade up into the 5 minute. Right here, right above. Looks like we're going to. Looks like we're going to. I mean, look at the hourly, though. Look at the hourly. This one looks like it really wants to keep going down. 15-minute inversion. Looks like it wants to keep going down. 5-minute inversion. Now we just need to see if we're going to trade up into that 5 minute. 5 minute SIBI above. So, again, I'm still looking for a nice entry. Isn't that a breaker on the 1 minute at 10:18? Right here. So it's like a little bit of a breaker. It's not super clear. Yes, it is. Like, we do have a low, high, lower, low. We did tap into it. It's not the most clear breaker, right? We don't have super clear swing low, swing high, which is why I wasn't too worried about it. But yeah, we did bounce off of that level. But again, all my higher time frames were telling me short, 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 right? Inversion, inversion, inversion of a bunch of time frames. So everything was still telling me short. So now we need to see what kind of reaction we get off this 1 minute SIBI up here. Or off the 5 minute SIBI, excuse me. So we're about to tap into it. ES is looking weird over there. Let's check out what the VIX is up to right now. VIX is definitely pulling back a little bit here. VIX is pulling back. So this has been kind of weird price action lately. This has been weird price action. Don't really love it right now, but I just want to see what kind of reaction we get. Because now we're looking like we want to run right through the 5 minute SIBI. So price action is a little bit all over the place here. A little bit all over the place. Right? From here, everything was looking long, 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 like we want to come up and take out buy side, finish a market maker buy model on the 1 minute, and then we inverse multiple 5 minute fair value gaps. We inverse a 15-minute fair value gap. Everything's looking short, and then we come back, we reverse again, and we're right back to VWAP again. So it's been back and forth. Been very back and forth here. So I want to see what we do at this 5 minute. If we're going to run right through the 5 minute, that might change some things. Okay, 1 minute busy here. 1 minute busy. 1 minute busy. Let's see if we're going to trade into that 1 minute busy, what we're going to do here. Okay, now we're starting to get a wick off the 5 minute imbalance. Now I want to see if we're going to come down and trade into that 1 minute. ES trade into the 5 minute as well. So a 1 minute inversion here would make me go short again. I would take another short, and I would look for a TP around here. We bounce off the 1 minute and start trading through the 5 minute again. Then my shift is right back to the longs again. So right now, we really just have to wait to see what happens at this 1 minute busy here. What happens at this 1 minute busy? Are we going to inverse? Looks like we're going to inverse. We'll see. Still going to stay patient here. So the aggressive entry in the short here would be off of this inverse, like right as we're starting to push below. I'm not going to take that entry. I'm going to wait for closure below. Because right now the market, I really need to see this market following through. So far, we're seeing a lot of manipulation here. The 5 minute looks like we really want to drop, right? The 5 minute looks like we want to drop strong bounce off the 5 minute SIBI. We just need to see if this 1 minute is going to come down and inverse. Come down and inverse. So if we inverse, I'm going to look for an entry down in the shorts here. So no inversion yet. We did close below 50%, but we still have not inversed, so I cannot take my entry yet. Cannot take my entry. Still going to stay patient. Still going to stay patient here. Come on back down. So the 1 minute busy is holding us up right now. ES is looking bullish over there. Looking like it wants to continue a little bit higher. So I'm just going to keep staying patient here, guys. I'm going to keep staying patient. Five minute really looks like it wants to move lower here. We're about to close on the 5 minute. 5 minute close, respecting the 5 minute SIBI. Long wick down. Still no inversion of this 1 minute, so I cannot jump in yet. Not until we come down and start pushing below this low. So ultimately, if the shorts are going to step back in, I want to see us come down to this low, down to this low. If the longs are going to take control, then I'd be looking for them up to this high and then right back up to this high from what we expected earlier. Right now, we're right in the middle of the range. But we bounced off 1 minute SIBI, 5 minute SIBI. So now we just need to see inversion of a 1 minute busy. I don't love that ES is chilling above VWAP. Just need to see us start pushing below. Okay, here we go. Let's see if this is going to be our breakout here. Don't want this to run away. Like I said, if you're trying to be aggressive, you take the entry right as we push below that busy. You don't even have to wait for a close. I'm just being patient just because of the manipulation we've been seeing lately. I don't want to be too aggressive on this. But the 5 minute does look very good. So if we get inversion here, if we close below, we come up and retest the inverse, I'll look for my entry. Or if we form another 1 minute SIBI, I'll look for my entry off of that. So, hopefully this one doesn't run away too quick from me. We still need to see this one close below, though. It still has not technically closed below. And now it has, all right? Now it's closed below. 1 hour is about to close. Okay, now I want to see an entry off of this inverse here. I want to see a bounce off this inverse, and I want to see an entry. We have a 1 minute order block, 1 minute inverse. I want to look for a short entry here. I want to look for a short entry. I'm going to get a short entry here. Half a lot. Half a lot, looking to target this low. About 129 ticks. Keep a stop above. I'll keep a stop just above about 50 ticks. Because again, this manipulation is all over the place, so I'm not going to keep a 60 tick stop here. 22.90, 50. But this is the move I need to see happen. And if this one doesn't follow through, guys, that means we're just seeing way too much manipulation in this market. It means I might need to just take a break and come back once the market clears up a little bit. Because look at that. Look at that. We're coming right back up. Right back up. This one doesn't look like it wants to drop anymore. So we'll see. We'll see. We're going to need to see a strong reaction right now. Very strong reaction here. There we go. This is the kind of candle I need to see right here. I need to see it follow through. I don't want to see a long wick like the past two. I want to see this one start following through here. Following through. Another entry that I really like, though. I really do like this entry. I have my conviction in this short position right now. All right, so if I have an opportunity to add into a full, I will, but I'm not going to add into a full until I see us really moving below. Like I need to see us not inversing, but actually moving like this, right? Creating a 1 minute order block, bearish order block here. I need to see close below, because notice how we're wicking down. We're not closing below. That doesn't give me enough conviction to jump into a full position yet. So keeping light risk here. Still keeping light risk just because we're not seeing the fall through yet. And if I just catch this with half a lot, I'd rather do that than go into a full position right now and take a full loss when we haven't seen the fall through yet. So if we can see fall through, we can close below, we can create a 1 minute bearish order block. We are about to close on the hour here. So we do want to be careful of the close here on the hourly time frame. We might see some more volatility here at the end of the hour. So just be aware of that. We need to see ES pushing through VWAP right now. All right, so what I would probably do is if we can close below. So we still did not close below as much as I wanted to see us close. Too many wicks here. So again, unless we can really fall through, I'm just going to cut this one. I'll cut this one at break even, around break even if we don't see any fall through. If we keep seeing these wicks, I'm not going to hold on to this position. These wicks are pretty ugly right now. Wicks are pretty ugly. As much as I like this 5 minute, we need to see some fall through. We can't keep seeing these wicks. So I'm just going to move my stop right now just above that order block. This 1 minute right here. So I'm going to de-risk a little bit. Half a lot still. So now I'm only risking about 35 ticks here. 35 ticks. So just absolutely no fall through yet. As much conviction as I had in this trade, no fall through. So we might have to cut this one again here, guys. Might have to cut this early again. Yeah, this one is not following through. I'm just going to cut this again, guys. I'm just going to cut this again. You know, we might still see this come down, but I just don't like this market right now. If this one comes down and ends up hitting TP, well, that was the choice I made. That was the choice I made. As much as I want to see this one come down, we're not seeing any fall through. We're seeing too many long wicks. I'm not going to take a full loss. I would rather come back once this market clears up a little bit. Because just look at this, right? We had the perfect entry model here. Inversion, bounce off a 5 minute SIBI. Bearish order flow and control. We bounced very aggressively, and then we just started chopping. Long wicks, right? So you could keep holding this if you want to. That's up to you, but I'm not going to hold on to this. I would much rather wait for price action to clear up a little bit and just catch a better trade. Catch a better trade than this, right? As much as I liked it originally, it's just not following through. So yeah, we might have to wait for power hour. Might have to wait for prop firm session or lunchtime to see if, you know, maybe we get that London close reversal, you know, something like that. But yeah, this is why risk management's important though, because all of these trades, like even though I've taken a few losses here, I've kept all of my losses very small, right? All of my losses have been very small because we've been reading order flow, and when order flow isn't going our way, I don't add into a full position. I cut it pretty soon, right? Because on this trade right here, this does not look like it's following through. I'm not going to let that one stop me out for 50, 60 ticks, right? Yeah, a lot of manipulation. So what I would rather do here is just take a little break. Let's clear our minds a little bit. Come back once the market is looking better, once we are having less manipulation, less chop, and we have more follow through. And then we'll look to trade when we have price action like that, because right now it's getting more low probability here. All right, you guys good with that? You guys good with that? If you guys are good with that, that's what we'll do moving forward. Because what I don't want you guys to do is over leverage right now and take too many trades and end up hitting your loss limit, when we could just wait for price action to get better and take a trade later. All right, cool. Well, I appreciate you guys. Again, hold on to your account. Don't go and blow it. Don't overtrade this right now. We'll wait for better price action. We'll come back, look for some good trades. All right, guys, appreciate you. God bless. I'll talk to you all very soon. Don't forget John's session is coming up as well. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace out.